Now, after we have seen the things that are called, we have talked much about topics. Now let us see the money. Let's talk about a little bit about money. So in terms of money, we just want to discuss at least two subtopics in the topic that is called money. Now, we just have the first subtopic called profit and loss. Profit and loss. Profit and loss. The profit is obtained when the selling price is more than the cost price. When you obtain the selling price is greater than the cost price in other words we just call it buying price. The price that you have bought the thing, that is called buying price. The money that you have used the money that you have used to buy the thing, that is called buying price. And how much you have spent after you have sold it. The money that you will get after selling that commodity after you have bought them, we just call it a selling price. And therefore the profit is obtained when the selling price is more than the cost price, that is buying price. So the difference is called a profit. And thus profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. That is to say, the price that you have sold the commodity, the products, the price that you have sold the product, that is called selling price. But remember that product you bought it from somewhere. The price that you bought that thing, it's called cost price. Now when you take that selling price minus cost price, and the answer is positive, and answer is positive, that is called profit. But if it is negative, when you have taken selling price minus cost price and you found it is negative, that is loss. And therefore, negative indicates that is loss. And therefore, loss is obtained when the selling price is less than the cost or buying price. That is, the difference is called a loss. Now, a loss is an opposite to profit, and profit is an opposite to loss. And therefore we say, when you have taken the selling price minus the cost price and you find it is negative, an answer is negative, that is loss. But when you have taken selling price minus cost price and an answer is positive, that is called profit. And therefore we can determine, we say, the loss is equal to cost price minus selling price. And therefore, when we're talking about loss and profit, we have the difference between them. We have said the profit is obtained when selling price is more than the cost price, that is buying price. And the difference between them is called a profit. And thus, profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. Loss is obtained when the selling price is less than the cost or buying price. The difference is called loss. Now, loss is equal to cost price minus selling price. And therefore, selling price, I've said the price that you have sold the product that you have. And the cost price is the price that you bought the thing. And therefore, we say loss is equal to cost price minus selling price. And therefore, that's all. Now, let us see more definition about them. Now, example number 1. If an orange was bought for shillings 500 and was sold for shillings 600, find the profit that was made by an orange. So an orange was bought for 500 shillings and was sold for 600 shillings. Find the profit that was made by an orange. So we're just looking for the profit, and therefore profit, as I said earlier, profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. Selling price, it was 600 and the cost price was 500. The price that you bought an orange, that is called the cost price, and the price that you sold an orange, that is called the selling price. So selling price from here, we just have the price that you bought an orange, that is the cost price, and the cost, the price that you sold an orange, that is called the selling price. Now, as we have learned, we have seen the area before that, profit is obtained by taking selling price minus cost price. Now, selling price is 600 and cost price is 500. Now, 600 minus 500 is equal to 100. This 100 is called is called profit. So we have obtained positive here and we just call it positive. Now we just call it profit. Now the profit is equal to 100 shillings, and therefore we can determine the profit by taking the selling price minus cost price. But remember also percentage profit and loss. We just say both profit and loss are each expressed as percentage of the cost. Percentage of the cost, that is buying price. So we can express this profit in terms of percentage, and we can express also profit, a loss, in terms of percentage. Therefore, let us see how to express these things. We have that the profit is 100. How can we express this one? So we know how to express let us know how to express profit and loss in terms of percentage. Now let us see. Now we can express, as I said, loss and profit can be expressed in terms of percentage. Now let us see how this can be expressed in some percentage. We just percentage loss. We just have percentage loss. Percentage loss is equal to loss over now the cost price. The cost price times 100%. As we learned, we said everything that you want to express in terms of percentage, you must multiply it by 100% to obtain exactly what you need. And percentage profit, the same percentage profit is obtained by profit. When taking the profit, then over cost price, then you multiply it by 100%. So we can express we can express both profit and loss in terms of percentage or as a percentage. So this is how the way we express them. Now the cost price, the percentage loss is equal to loss over cost price over times 100%. And the percentage profit is equal to profit over cost price times 100%. Why do we multiply by 100%? Because we just want anything that you want to convert into percentage, you must multiply it by 100%. That's why we have multiplied by 100%. Example, from the above example we have seen the profit. Now the profit is equal to 100. So if I just want to express this in terms of percentage, I could possibly take this formula, that is percentage profit. Percentage profit. Percentage profit is equal to profit over cost price times 100%. If that had been the case, remember profit is equal to 100 and the cost price was 500. Now when you multiply it by 100, mean that you just want to express it into percentage. Now this comes out, then here it is 20. Now the percentage profit here is equal to 20%. Now this was the percentage profit out of the cost price. So the cost price was 500 and the profit that he made was 100 per orange. And therefore, when you just want to obtain the percentage for the profit that you made, you just take profit over cost price and then you multiply by 100 to make it into percentage. Now that is 20%. So this is how we could possibly show how to take the things. So this is percentage loss, this is percentage profit. Now let us see the other things apart from this. Example number 2. Now let us see example number 2. 5 cows were bought for shillings 1,125,000 and sold for the loss of 16%. Now find the selling price of the cows. The question is, 5 cows were bought for 1,125,000 shillings and sold for the loss of 16%. Now find the selling price of the cows. So we've been taught to find out the selling price of the cows, but we've been given the cost price, but also we've been given the percentage loss from the question. Now we need to find out what is called the selling price. We have percentage loss and we have cost price and we have the total number of cows that we bought, which is 5 cows. But we don't respond for the 5 cows because we've been not told to find out the price for each cow. We've been told only to find the selling price for the cows. So cows in general, not for each cow. So now let us see how to calculate this one. Now from the question we have seen, we've been given the cost price. Cost price. Cost price is equal to 1,125,000. This was the cost price. But also from the question, you've been given the percentage loss. Percentage loss. Percentage loss is equal to 16%. Now this is the percentage loss, and this is what we call cost price. Now our question is to find selling price. Selling price. Selling price is equal to what? But remember, we've been given what is cost price. We need to find out what is called selling price. Remember, from here we say loss. Loss is obtained by taking the cost price minus selling price. So this is the formula that we'll use to find out what we call it selling price is here. Remember, cost price, selling price is not there, cost price is here. But loss also is not there, but it is written in terms of percentage. So we can actually convert this percentage into whole number. Instead of percentage, we just want to convert this one. Then remember, this is 16%. That is 16%, which is equal to 16 over 100. If it is 16 over 100, out of the cost price. Now, out of the cost price is 1,125,000. Now, we just want to know 16% is equal to which number. Now, you can definitely simplify this one. When you take this one and you multiply by this one, you get what? This is 180,000. 180,000. So this is called loss. The loss was equal to 180,000. 180,000. So 180,000 is the loss. That was expressed in terms of percentage. We have got this one after taking the percentage that we were given here, and then we multiply out of the cost price in order to find what we need. Because we know percentage loss, we definitely know that percentage loss, we know percentage loss we have seen percentage loss is equal to loss over cost price times 100. And therefore, if that had been the case, we have got percentage loss is equal to loss over cost price times 100%. Now, remember, the loss is not there, cost price is there, percentage is there, and that's why after I've used this one to convert, I've got 16% is equal to 16 over 100 times of 1,125,000. And then after I've calculated, I've got, this is the loss. The loss now is 180,000. Now let us see how to calculate what is called selling price. What is called selling price. To calculate the selling price, definitely what we do, remember from here, we just have loss. Loss now is equal to cost price minus selling price. Now the loss is 180,000 is equal now to cost price, which is equal to 1,125,000. Now minus selling price is not there. Let's say it is y. Now taking this to the other side becomes y is equal to cost price minus loss. Now which is this one? So definitely, according to mathematics, we can write it here. It is 1,125,000. Now minus, we just have 180,000. So here it is 0, 0, 0. It is then 5 here. It is then here 4. Here it is then 9. So we just have 945,000. So the selling price, we conclude by saying the selling price was equal to 945,000. So this is the selling price. So he bought 5 cows in this money. He bought 5 cows for 1,125,000. And then he sold the cows, 5 cows in this price. This is 945,000. Kwa aliwanunua kwa milioni 1,125,000, akawauza kwa 945,000. Kwa maana alipata hasara ya 1,180,000. So this is how we can talk about it, cost price and loss in terms of percentage. So we have seen the way that we have done here. We have calculated the loss in terms of the shillings by taking the percentage of 100 times the cost price, and then we got what we call loss. After we have got the loss, now you take the cost price, then you subtract this one from the cost price. Then you find it is 945,000. That is the price was sold that cows. So that is all about selling price, profit, loss, and so forth. Now let us see the other subtopic code, which is called simple interest. Now let us see the other subtopic in the topic called the money. Now we just have the very important topic which is called simple interest. Now interest is the money that one pays for borrowing money, or the money that one earns for keeping money. When you have kept money, for example, in the bank, you have kept money, there is some money, extra money that you get from the bank. There is extra money that you get from the bank. Now, if there is an extra money that you get from the bank, after you've been paid that extra amount, that extra amount of money, we just call it interest. So interest is the money that one pays for borrowing money, and when you are borrowed from somebody. When you are borrowed that money from somebody, for at least for the length of time, we just talk about interest. So interest is the money that one pays for borrowing money, or the money that one earns for keeping money. For example, in the bank. In the bank, you keep the money, but there is an extra money that is paid for you, to you, as an interest. So that is an interest. Now let us see how we can calculate the interest according to the banking expression. But it's not about commerce, but it's all about knowing how we can get the profit or the interest from the money that we keep in the bank. Now let us talk about the examples. Now, the simple interest, we just call it simple interest. Simple interest. It is represented by letter I. Now, this is represented by letter I. That is to say, I is given as principal. The principal, we just have principal. This principal is the initial amount of money that saved or kept. The initial amount of money that is saved, the initial amount of money saved, that or kept, that is called principal. And it is represented by letter P. This is principal times the rate, which is expressed in terms of percentage. So the rate is the profit that you get, and this profit is always expressed in terms of percentage. So, and it is represented by letter R. Then times what is called time. Time is represented by letter T. Then over 100. Why do we say over 100? Because this rate is expressed in terms of percentage. And therefore, we can shorten this formula and write it as PRT over 100. So this is the formula that is used to obtain the simple interest from the money that you have kept in the bank. But remember, this P is called principal and this R is called rate. And it is always expressed in terms of percentage. And this T is called time. Remember, time is always expressed in terms of, time is measured in years. So time is always measured in years. Should be measured in years. So if it is 3 months, 3 months, remember you convert this one. So this 3 months is out of 12. Now becomes 1 is equal to 1 over 4. This is quarter year, quarter year, quarter a year. Now quarter year is measured in terms of this one. So we don't use months, we just use it. We don't use months, hours, or whatever the case it is. But definitely we use years. So this is the general formula should be used to calculate the interest that is after you have kept the money in the bank, you have saved the money in the bank, you just use this formula to calculate your your interest. So interest is equal to PRT over 100. So this is definitely what I can say, I can talk about. So this is the formula in general used to talk about. P is principal, and principal we have said the initial amount that we are keeping in the bank, and rate is expressed in terms of percent. That is the profit that we get, and then time is expressed in terms of year. Over 100. Why is it over 100? Because this rate is expressed in terms of percentage, and that's why we have put it over 100. Now let us see example on how to use this formula in the way that we think it is possible. Now let us see example on how to solve this formula. Now let us see. Now let us see example on how to use this formula. Example number 1. Joyce deposited 50,000 shillings in the business bank, which cost is 7.5% per year. If the money stayed for 6 months in the bank, find the amount of money that Joyce earns. So the amount that was deposited, the initial amount that is called the principal, is 50,000, and the rate that is expressed in terms of percentage is 7.5% per year. And the time that the money stayed in the bank is 6 months. So we need to convert these 6 months into years. So 6 months is over 12. That is called half a year. Now in the bank. Now find the amount of money that Joyce earns. So to find the amount of money that Joyce earns, first of all you find the interest that Joyce earns. And then after you have got the interest, you take that interest, then plus the principal, you will get the amount of money. Now let us see how to solve this question. Now from the question we've been given, Joyce deposited 50,000. That is principal. Principal is 50,000. That was the principal. And the business in the business bank cost is the rate now. Rate is equal to 7 and 1 over 2. This is percentage. So when you just want to convert this one into improper fraction, it is 2 times 7 plus 1, which is equal to 15 over 2%. And then the time, if the money stayed for 6 months, now time is equal to 60 months. As I said earlier, time is always measured in terms of years. Now we just convert this into years. 6 over 12. 1 year after 12 months is now 6 over 12, which is equal by 2. Now is equal to half. Now the time is equal to half a year. Half a year. Now if that had been the case, we know we've been told to find the amount of the money that Joyce earns. So the amount of the money that Joyce earns is calculated amount, now which is represented by letter A, is equal to interest plus principal. Interest plus principal. But interest is not there. Now remember, interest is obtained by taking principal times rate times time over 100. And that is to say, we just principal, which is 50,000, times rate, which is equal to 15 over 2. Now times a year, now a time is 1 over 2. Now is over 100. So if that had been the case, we are looking for the value of this one. We are looking for the value of I now. This, now we can simplify, collect the like terms. So we just have 50,000 times, this time this one it is 15. Then 2 times 2 is equal to 4. Then over. Now it is 100. If it is 100, you can definitely simplify this one. By 4 it is 1. By 4 here, it is 1, 2, 5. This is 1,000. This one. Then times this one over 100. So this is 12,500 when you simplify this one. Then when you take this one, this times over this one, then it is 125 times 15, which is equal to 1,875. So the profit, the interest that Joyce earns is equal to 1,875. So this is the money that he earned as an interest. But remember, I have said that amount is equal to the interest plus the principal. But the interest of that, now amount is given as, amount will be given as interest is 1,875. Then plus the principal, which is 50,000. 50,000. So if that had been the case, we just want to obtain the amount. Now the amount will be given as 51,875. So this is the amount of the money that he earns. So when you just want to obtain the amount of money that Joyce earns, first of all, you have to know the amount of money is obtained by taking interest plus the principal that were deposited as an initial amount of money. So you cannot take that interest direct from anywhere. You just use the principal of solving the interest. As I said, interest is equal to principal times rate times time that the money that was stayed there, and then over 100. Therefore, by applying that principle, you definitely find the interest that you need. After you have got the interest, you know that interest plus principal is equal to amount that the money that person can earn the money from the bank or anywhere else. And therefore, we have calculated the interest, the compound, compound interest, or the simple interest, and we have got the simple interest was 1,875. So this is an interest. But in order to get the amount of money that was earned in total, in general, we say interest plus principal, we get the amount of amount. So 50,000, that is what principal, and 1,875, that is the interest. So summing up together, you get 51,875. So this is what we call amount of the money that Joyce earns. Now let us see the other example on how to solve this one. Now, let us see the other example about interest. Now, example number 2. Luca deposited a certain amount of money in the bank, and after a year, the interest was 900 shillings. What was the deposited amount by Luca if the bank cost is the rate of 7.5% per year? Now, from the question, you've been given interest that Luca earns. And after that one, you've been given the rates and the time. And the time after a year, that is 1 year. So principal is not there. The rates is equal to 7.5%. Time is equal to 1 year. Interest, that is I, is equal to 900 shillings. So if that had been the case, we need to find out the principal. But the interest is 900. Time is 1 year and rate is 7.5%, but principal is not there. Now let us see how to solve this question. Now from the question we've been given the interest is equal to 900. That is interest. Now the interest is equal to 900, and what we are looking for is principal is equal to what? Now rates is equal to 7.5, which is equal to 15 over 2%. And also we just have time. Time is 1 year. So we know interest is given as PRT over 100. So remember, interest is there, and then P is not there. So we have to make P as the subject of the formula. You make P as the subject of the formula. Definitely, you will find it, or if you think that is so impossible for you, you already substitute. So making the subject as the formula, you will definitely find it is 100I. P is equal to 100I over T. This is making P as the subject of the formula. P is equal to 100 times I over T. So that is to say, when taking that one, you just have 100, then times I, which is equal to 900. time over rate, which is equal to 15 over 2. Then times time, which is equal to 1. You can definitely find it is equal to 90,000 over 100, over 15 over 2. So mathematically, this is 90,000 now times 2 over 15. Times 2 over 15. Now, by taking this one, it is 1, here it is 6. 6,000. Now 6,000 times 2 is equal to 12,000. So the money that was deposited was 12,000. Now P is equal to 12,000. So I've made this 12,000 after making P as the subject of the formula. Now principal is obtained by taking 100 times the interest over rate times time. Now that is 100, that is percentage, and then times I, which is interest, which was 900. Now over rate, which is 15 over 2 times 1. Then after you have that, you take this one times this one, you get 90,000 over 15 over 2. 15 over 2. Now, according to the principle of mathematics, we have taken this one. It is 90,000 divided by 15 over 12. Changing this as we learned in fraction and become this is 2 over 15. And the way I've made it here. So this is 15. Or if you find that it's so impossible for you to make P as the subject of the formula, you can definitely substitute what you've been given. And therefore, if I, you substitute from I is equal to P RT over 100. If that had been the case, now I is equal to 900, is equal to P, which is nothing, times rate, which is equal to 15 over 2, times time, which is 1. This is over 100. And therefore, collecting the like terms, here we definitely find it is 900 is equal to P times 15 over 2. This is over 100. Then we can definitely multiply by 100. And here it is by 100. Then this cancels. Then you remember is 90,000. 90,000 is equal to P times 15 over 2. Now, by collecting the like terms, we just have 90,000 is equal to 15P over 2. That is P times 15 is equal to 15P. Now you multiply by 2, you multiply by 2, then you divide it by 15, you divide it by 15. Now 15 and 15, 2 and 2 cancel. Then it is 1, it is 60,000. Then 6,000 times 2 is equal to 12,000. 12,000. And now the principal now is equal to 12,000. So we have got this 12,000 after applying what we've been given from the question. So the kind of the question that we're dealing with is interest. So we substitute what we're given, then we got the correct answer. And therefore the principal is equal to 12,000. Now that's all about the principal and that's all about the interest. Talking about the money, we have finished about it. So now let us see the other things which is called and the sweeter thing that we just want to talk about it. Now that's all about child.